Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call to order the City Council of the City of Waukegan for June 2nd, 2014. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Belko.
Present.
Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Cunningham.
Present.
Alderman Conken.
Present.
Alderman Moiseo.
Present.
Alderman Beedling.
Here.
Alderman Newsome.
Here.
Alderman Tempest.
Present.
Alderman May. Present.
Please stand for invocation.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you again for another city council meeting. We thank you for our mayor, for all of us. We thank you for our city as a whole. Unashamedly, we come every Monday night and ask your blessings upon our city, upon the state, upon the United States, upon the president, upon everyone. We might lead a quiet and peaceable life. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
As many of you know, during Mayor's comments, I try to include community updates and also highlights of great achievements by Waukegan residents, companies, and students. Tonight, I've asked Chuck Gutman from Envision Scholars to give us a brief comment about their program, as well as present certificates of achievement to the recipients of this year's scholarship. Chuck, will you please go to the mic?
Okay, thank you. It gives me great pleasure to address everyone today. This is the second year I've had the blessing of addressing the City Council meeting regarding Envision Scholars, which is a scholarship foundation, it's a college readiness and college persistence program that focuses on students who are the first generation college students to go to college. Yeah, I'd like to say that tonight we're in the presence of greatness. It's not greatness based on any innate ability or birthright. It's greatness based on a set of beliefs, a mindset that these students have adopted. It's greatness based on actions they've taken and decisions they've made. Envision Scholars kind of has two tracks. We support our scholars with mentoring and financial assistance. And we also seek to be a collaborative force for creating a better Waukegan and acting in concert with other organizations. We all know all of our young people have hopes and dreams, and it's our belief that all of them are valid and that all of our students deserve to be valued and known. And as an organization, we hope to continue to support some outstanding young people and hope to work with other organizations such as the City Council to further Waukegan. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our 2014 class of Envision Scholars. So thanks. Okay, should I just say the name and then if you could give the honor of sharing, and actually if you could come up, okay. And we have one of our Envision Scholars who just got here. He was going to speak just for 2 or 3 minutes. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, great. Kareem, for about 3 minutes, if you can just share your personal story, just to show you one Envision Scholar.
Hello, my name's Kareem Williams, and I'd just like to say that in my household and growing up in my family, the only two people who really knew about schoolwork were the women of my family, my mother and my sisters. My father, him and my mother immigrated here from Jamaica, and my father always was the worker who helped provide food on the table for us. So the ideal of college wasn't really known to him. It was my mother who helped push that, and she sadly passed away when I was 7 years old. So throughout that time, I was really going off of, I don't know what I want to do with my life. And when I entered into high school, I have to say, Mr. Gutman, he helped me focus on going to college and pursuing a better education so that I can give back to the community and my family at the same time, so that I can better myself and those around me. Envision Scholars is a wonderful group, and I know that actually it will help push people who don't know into the unknown and for them to truly blossom. Thank you.
Okay, so I will name our scholars. Enrique Lascano is going to Babson College in Boston to study business. Kareem Williams is studying music education at Millikan University. He was also the recipient of the Superintendent's Leadership Award. Francisco Aquino will be studying criminal justice at Western Illinois. Osvaldo Calzada will be studying engineering at Tufts University in the Boston area. Mackenzie Kelly will be studying at Lake Forest College. Margarita Uriostegui will be at Denison University in Ohio. Jessica Castillo, who should be familiar to people, is the Gates Scholar, and she will also be going to Denison College in Ohio. Jarrell Arenas got a coveted spot at University of Illinois Springfield Honors Program. Logan Smith will be attending Kalamazoo College. And we have a few students. Krithika Sivaramakrishnan is in India right now. She will be going to Wellesley University. Anthony Strack couldn't make it tonight, and he's going to Wesleyan University in Connecticut. And who else? Cynthia Padron is going to Lake Forest College. Thank you.
We got some paparazzi, so.
We have plenty of people with my phone.
Okay.
Okay, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do one more in case it doesn't work, okay? 1, 2, and 3. Thank
One
you.
more for me, please. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Fantastic.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Good job, man. Good job. Jarrell, great job. Great job, man. Margarita, keep in touch, huh? Cool. Your Honor, I just want a personal thanks to Mr. Gutman as a colleague. We're lucky we have him. Thank you, Charles. Yes.
I also want to recognize Josue Pasillas. He's last year's Gates Scholar from Waukegan High School. He is entering his sophomore year at Pritzker College in California. He will be serving as an intern for the city of Waukegan with my son David. He aspires to be the mayor of the city of Waukegan. He told me that personally last year when we were on the radio together. And I have to tell you, this kid, he probably will be this mayor of Waukegan one day. Anyway, Josue, you want to come up real quick and say hello?
Kind of looks like Dan there, doesn't he?
Hello, everyone. I'm the public relations intern for the City of Waukegan, and I want to thank City of Waukegan for giving me the opportunity to give back to Waukegan.
Was there just one audience time? Okay, there is no audience time. Minutes, motion to approve the minutes of May 19th, 2014 regular meeting. Motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Cunningham. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Resolutions, proclamations, presentations, appointments, presentation. Tammy Chapman, Flight for Life. Tammy, you want to step up, please?
Yes, sir.
You were already standing. I'm sorry. She's standing? It's okay.
Sorry, I have to bring my paparazzi camera over. Do I need to be in front of the microphone? Because I do so much better if I'm moving around.
Well, you probably need to just for the, so we
Yes,
can
sir.
pick it up on the,
Can you guys hear me okay? Excellent. Thank you, Mayor, City Council. This is the second time I've had the honor of addressing you guys to recognize the Waukegan Fire Department. 4 years ago, they won the Scene Call of the Year Award for 2010. And tonight, I'm back here to recognize them for winning the Scene Call of the Year Award for 2013. I'm sorry, I was like, where's the thing? Let me look above my head. And I have my trusty friend here, Andy, who's going to be hitting the button. Sir, please. It's a tough thing for you, isn't it? You got it. So what I'm going to ask, if I could please have all of the folks that were involved in the call, that would be Waukegan Fire Department, to please step forward. Waukegan Police Department, please step forward for any of those personnel who are here. Waukegan Police 911 Dispatch, if I could have any of the dispatch folks that were on the call. Some of you were here last time. I think it's the same shift. I think it is, because you were here, Tim. So I also would like to ask, I will let you know that Andy Jensen was our flight communications specialist that was on in-flight comm that day. So Andy is my little plug here. So, and then I will ask Rebecca Swokel to step forward. She is our base manager for the McHenry base. Patty Mitchell was the flight nurse, and Scott Anderson was the flight paramedic, and both of them are working tonight, so they couldn't be here. What I'm going to do, and I apologize, I'll try to address you guys as well, is I want to talk just briefly about this call and what made it special, and then I will be asking Captain DeRosa to please address the group as to what they had to deal with at the scene. So hopefully you guys can see some of the photos. What are you doing? Next. There I was, alone and unsupervised up front. Need my help? There you go, you're good. I will mention that this year is the 30th anniversary of the Flight for Life program. We have transported over 33,000 patients, and we have, as an organization, served the citizens of the community of Waukegan for those 30 years. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, and I know some of you have heard me before, about why they got this call, why they won. And we get all the submissions, they're de-identified, so no one knows it's Waukegan. Nobody knows the call. They don't know the town. They know nothing other than the facts of the situation. And so we look at scene management, critical thinking, things that go above and beyond the call, the things that you have to do to work together as a team to give your patients the best chance for survival and recovery. It is a difficult job, and those of you who are citizens, and those of you, the mayor and the city council, you spend dollars
so that when these moments happen, that your personnel that you have enlisted to do the job that they have been trained and are paid to do, they rise to that occasion. And these guys, I personally know all of the fire department personnel. I started at age 12. That was 24 years ago, for those of you who can do math. Not me. And I know all of these folks. Actually, Ryan, I taught him in paramedic class, so I was 12 at that time too. So they've had to do things. They have training. They spend years training to prepare for those moments. And that is the result of the training, is being able to handle a call like this as a team, with dispatch, with law enforcement, with other fire departments, and with air medical. And this call had a couple little things that were interesting that we'll talk about just briefly. So, sir, please. So the call comes in, 911, motor vehicle crash with multiple victims. So that's what our folks in the communications center received. So the police department and the fire department were dispatched to the scene. Go ahead, Ian. So there were 3 patients, 2 of which were critical. So that's when the decision by B.C. Schmidt to call for the helicopter, because when we come in, we bring in additional skills, medications, and abilities that are above what is found in your street paramedic. There's additional trainings, as well as your emergency department nurses. Each aircraft is staffed with a flight nurse, a flight paramedic, and a pilot. The pilot drives, they don't do any medical. So, made the decision to call for the helicopter. Go ahead. So, what I would like to do, where'd it go? There it go. Will you step forward, please, sir, and talk a little bit about what you had to deal with in this call?
That whole afternoon started right around lunchtime. And so for us, it was just another 1050 PI, which is, personal injury, out to Sunset, which is one of our busier streets in District 4, which is the north side of town. We got there, and the first thing that we came across was the fact that we've got a fire. First thing we could see from a distance was a fire hydrant in the street. And then as we pulled up closer, you've got one guy closer to the curb, and you got one guy up on the sidewalk against the fence. We were the first, a truck unit was there. It was myself and 2 other firefighters that ride the truck for that district. And we got there first because I believe the ambulance was at Victory. So they were just finishing up another call. So we got out, did a quick triage. My guys went to the 2 patients. I ran down to the car where the driver was. What had happened was the driver, from what I understand from just the bystanders telling me, driver went up on the sidewalk and clipped 2 people walking down the street. And then he ended up probably 50 to 100 yards down a little bit, parked across traffic. So right then and there, we got high impact because the fence was all bent in. You've got 2 guys groaning, one up against the fence, one in a gutter. And we're trying to piece all this together, what just happened. And it turns out, everybody else will come up and say, we had a few good Samaritans stop also to give us the information that these gentlemen were just walking down the street. I believe they were heading westbound on Sunset, and the car came up from behind them and clipped them. Ryan, we were on 44? Or when we truck got there, we split up really quick. We had, I think, 1 or 2 guys go to each one, and then by then we were calling for extra ambulances to show up. And by that time, Chief Schmidt had showed up also, and I requested flight for life through him based on what the paramedics were telling me. That whole scene was, I would say, organized chaos for probably 3 to 5 minutes of just trying to figure out what had happened, who's hurt the worst, who got the most out of it. Was the guy in the car, how bad was he? So in all, we had 3 ambulances show up to the scene, a command vehicle. I believe the chief, you showed up. And then as we got the ambulances together and found out how bad everybody was, we decided that as flight was coming, we would do the landing zone down the street at St. Dismas at the corner of Macquarie and Sunset. Pretty much your people showed up, and we went from there.
You want to talk about the landing zone interloper, please?
Now that you brought it up, I will. We had secured St. Dismas's parking lot, and our big crash unit, the truck, the squad showed up, and they blocked it. St. Dismas has two entrances, an east and a west, and the big squad had blocked the east entrance. And I had showed up right after the ambulance did, and I had driven the truck down, and I had blocked that entrance. Chief Schmidt suggested that I drop my cones at the entrance and pull the truck up to block the windows, because St. Dismas has a lot of windows, and when the helicopters land, they have a lot of rotor wash, and he wanted to block that. So, pulled the truck up, blocked the windows. Two guys from the ambulance, or that were on the squad, the heavy rescue squad, that were blocking the east, left their vehicle on the east part, walked down, and they were now with our 5 or 6 cones across this parking lot. Helicopter came, everybody looked, the helicopter landed. The two guys that were blocking, or standing at the other entrance of the cones, walked up to see if we needed any help with the interchange. And that time, a car had pulled into the parking lot and shot across. I didn't get a good glimpse as you got of how many feet it was close to the rotors, but had pulled through our landing zone. And everybody at that time just kind of jaws dropped open, and the chief, you were in the command vehicle. You guys had like swerved towards him to keep him away from the helicopter, which you did, and the guy on the receiving end of that got a good listen to from the chief there. And we all saw at the end of it, so we knew what was happening. So it was one thing after another with that call, but it all worked out good.
The reason I wanted to bring that up is the number one tenet in our organization is safety, as it is with the Waukegan Fire Department, and I'm sure the police department as well. And this shows that even the best landing zones, you can have someone, I call them interlopers, you can have someone come in and get into your landing zone, pose a security risk to the aircraft, to the crew, to the firefighters, to the law enforcement at the scene, and to the patient. And what happened that day is everything worked to stop that intrusion because we work with them in terms of safety. We come out once a year, we do landing zone safety training. When there is something that goes on, we come back, we talk about it, and we deal with it. Because you can't stop everything, because something will always come up. But I would have to commend these guys on the call. They took care of things. They made sure that the person understood why what they did wasn't good, and they stopped it from becoming an issue and putting folks in jeopardy. And, go ahead, Andy. So I just want to share, just personally myself, for the organization, how much we appreciate working with folks who come to the table prepared to do the job each and every day with the same energy and respect and commitment to serve the citizens of Waukegan. And I'm proud to call each and every one of these guys a friend, as well as a colleague in doing this job. And I'm incredibly honored to be here for the second time, to be able to honor them on behalf of the Flight for Life organization. So what I'd like to do now is have Rebecca come forward. And if I could ask each of you to please take some steps towards me so that I can get you all together and move down this way just a little so that we're closer, closer, closer. Don't fall down. But we have plenty of assistance. Plenty of assistance. So on behalf of the Flight for Life McHenry Base, we would like to present the Waukegan Fire Department with the 2013 Scene Call of the Year Award. And not only do they get the very spanky plaque, they also get a $500 educational scholarship grant that we give to purchase something for education, whether it's a speaker, whether it's a piece of software, equipment, training class, whatever it might be. and they get a landing zone kit to add to one of their vehicles for landing zone safety and setup. And we will write a nice story in our newsletter, and that'll go out as well. So I am honored and pleased to be able to be here again today. So if you will indulge me for a few photos, we will get out of here. Okay, if you guys could, I'm pretty wide angle, but not that much, but pardon me for standing up. Oh, perfect, I've got all of them. We can only do this photo once in a lifetime, so look great, stand up on both feet, and look fabulous.
Short people up front.
Thank you, Andy. I'll do one more. You know how
Okay, one more right here for me, please. 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Thank you guys very much, Mayor and City Council, for allowing us to be here tonight.
Next item is the presentation by Union Pacific Railroad Safety Grant Award to Waukegan Police Department. Step to the microphone, please. Adrian Guerrero. It's okay.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Tammy's going to be a tough act to follow, but with staying within the same vein of the theme of tonight, public safety and education, it's pretty perfect for us to be here today. So last year, Union Pacific Railroad started the Public Safety Grant Rail Safety Award Program. And it was a new rollout campaign for our public safety team, working with engineering. And I have Special Agent Mike Meyer with me tonight as well. So brand new program, and we wanted to expand on our partnership opportunities that we've had with several communities throughout the northern region. Obviously in Illinois, we have commuter and freight operations, so it's a very important region for our operations. So with that, we looked at the communities that we had already partnered with, whether it was a safety blitz or getting into the schools or an Operation Lifesaver campaign. Anything that kind of fell within that, we wanted to continue that partnership with those communities. And working with Lieutenant Fitzgerald here, Waukegan was the perfect candidate. And you guys were only one of 6 municipalities in the state of Illinois that we bestowed this grant to. So again, we're hoping to do that again this coming year, and we're waiting for the grant to reopen again. But here today, we want to recognize the city of Waukegan with our public safety grant for $4,000 for the City of Waukegan Police Department for a great grant that Lieutenant Fitzgerald submitted, working on rail safety enforcement near the depot and along other areas of our line. So for Union Pacific, obviously our biggest priority in our business and in our company operations is public safety. Without public safety in line, it makes a lot of other things very difficult for us, to say the least. So we want to recognize the city for continuing that partnership. We want to recognize Mayor Motley for his leadership, Chief Wallace as well, and Noel, thank you very much for coordinating all this and making it happen, and especially to Lieutenant Fitzgerald for submitting a great grant and making it easy win-win for both of us. So if I could present this to the Mayor, Chief, and Lieutenant Fitzgerald, that'd be great.
Judiciary Committee, Alderman Rivera.
Thank you. Judiciary Committee came to order at approximately 5 o'clock this afternoon. Item A in the Judiciary Committee, item A, adopt a resolution of the City of Waukegan, Illinois, and Illinois Municipal Corporation accepting a grant from the Illinois Housing Development Authority's abandoned IHDA Residential Property Municipal Relief Program. The grant was worth $250,000, and we'd like to recognize Ann Lynn for the hard work that she did in acquiring this grant. Dave Marion had brought it up to us, and she took on the task to work on this grant, thinking that maybe we'd get about $75,000. They ended up getting about $250,000. And the good thing about this grant is that we can apply yearly. We can apply yearly, and obviously this grant is for for demolitions, not necessarily for a specific area, but it's for that, and it's also for, mowing and, things like that. And I so move.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman Valco. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Aye. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Aye. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Aye. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
The next item on the agenda, item B, adopt an ordinance of the City of Waukegan, Illinois, amending Chapter 3 of the Municipal Code entitled Alcoholic Beverages Amendment to the A3 Microbrewery Liquor License. We only have one license in the community, and there were some amendments that was made to obviously enhance the operations of this microbrewery, and everyone should have their ordinance in front of them. I can read it real quick, the changes. In addition, as part of the ticketed special food pairing event, the consumption of up to 8 samples, which do not exceed 4 fluid ounces per sample of the beer and ale produced on the premises may be provided without charge. Additionally, in connection with special ticketed events such as a moving screen, the consumption of up to 2 16-ounce servings of the beer and ale produced on the premises may be provided without charge. All on-site consumption is to be served by Bassett-trained servers, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman Valco. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Aye. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Aye. Alderman Newsome.
Nay.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Item C, adopt an ordinance of the City of Waukegan, Illinois, amending Chapter 2 Administration to add a requirement regarding payment of all municipal charges and accounts prior to transfer of real estate. This is basically a new ordinance. This requires that all sellers and buyers or their agents or real estate property in the City of Waukegan must be obtained at closing. So this is going to protect our citizens as well that are purchasing new homes. So when they go to a closing, they're not going to be, surprised by additional charges. So I so move.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman Valco. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Item D, adopt an ordinance amending Chapter 2 entitled Administration Officers designated by adding City Collector as a subparagraph 10. And this is in regards to the City Collector. That position is now an official title. And I so move.
Motion by
excuse me,
Alderman
an official
Rivera,
officer.
second by Alderman Valco. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beatley. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
That is it, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Alderman. Public Safety Committee, Alderman Conken.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Public Safety Committee met earlier tonight. We had several items on the agenda. Item A is authorized to pay the 2014-2015 annual membership assessment fee of $115,801 to the Northeastern Illinois Regional Crime Lab, 1000 Butterfield Road, Suite 1009, Vernon Hills, Illinois 60061. Fee will be paid from line item 1006077244431. I so move.
Motion by Alderman Conken, second by Alderman Beedling. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beatley. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Item B, authorize the city to contribute $5,000 to the Lake County Crime Stoppers, Post Office Box 459, Mundelein, Illinois 60060-0459. The contribution will be paid with federal asset forfeiture funds using line item 296-629-624438, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Conken, second by Alderman Beedling. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Beatley. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Thank you. Item C, to authorize to pay the 2014-2015 annual membership fee of $11,250 to the Northeast Multi-Regional Training Incorporated at 355 Smoke Tree Plaza, North Aurora, Illinois 60542. This fee will be paid from line item 1006085244436. I so move.
Motion by Alderman Conken, second by Alderman Beedling. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beatley. Alderman Newsome. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Item D is to authorize the city to purchase ammunition for the fiscal year of 2014-2015 in an amount not to exceed $48,000 under the Illinois Joint Purchasing Agreement number 4017591, granted to Keesler's Police Supply. The purchase will be made from line item 1006077254482. This ammunition will cover all training and all actual ammunition carried by our officers for the year in all calibers. I so move.
Motion by Alderman Conken, second by Alderman Beedling. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beatley. Alderman Newsome. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Item E, authorized to waive the bid procedure and purchase the police scheduling software system from Visual Computer Solutions under GSA contract number GS-35F-0051X at a cost of $23,500 for the first year and $16,000 per year thereafter, with the annual cost locked down for the next 3 years. This item will be purchased with federal asset forfeiture funds using line item 296-629-626495, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Conken, second by Alderman Beedling. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Beatley. Alderman Newsome. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Item F is to authorize to enter into a grant agreement with the Department of Justice and accept the 2014 JAG grant number 2014-H3143-IL-DJ and share the award with the Lake County State's Attorney's Office. The Lake County State's Attorney's Office will receive $6,884, and the Waukegan Police Department will receive $27,934 in this grant. I so move.
Motion by Alderman Conken, second by Alderman Beedling. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Beatley. Alderman Newsome. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
I only have one other item, and that was for information only. The Waukegan Fire Department received a check in the amount of $13,008 from the Office of the State Fire Marshal for reimbursement for training expenses, and the chief has assured me the check has been deposited. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman. Public Works Committee, Alderman Moiseo.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item A, to proceed with Phase 3 construction engineering for replacement of the Grand Avenue Bridge superstructure over the Union Pacific Railroad, section number 12-00239-00-BR, for amount not to exceed $130.20, using a highway bridge program 80% 20, funding from the city share being a maximum of $94,826.04. Funds are available for this project in line item 228-922-824435. Reimbursements from the state for this project must be deposited back into this line item, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Tempest. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedley. Alderman Newsome. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Item B, to execute the contract finishing the lakefront bike path alternate B for an amount not to exceed $59,953, of which the city will be reimbursed 80%. The city will have to pay 20% out of pocket, or $11,991. Funds for this project are available in line item 100-9100244438. All monies reimbursed to the city for this project must be put back into above line item, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Tempest. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedley. Alderman Newsome. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
And our last item, item C, to solicit bids for repair of our largest hydraulic lift hoist in the vehicle repair area, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Tempest. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Your Honor, that's it.
Okay. Under new business, A, approval of payroll dated May 30th, 2014, in the amount of $1,366,247.52, and the final payouts in the amount of $41,218.49. Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Newsom. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedley. Alderman Newsome. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Item B, approval of bills dated June 2nd, 2014, in the amount of $826,848.76. Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Newsom. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedley. Alderman Newsome. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Item C, approval of raffle sale application for the Waukegan Park District. Motion by Alderman Conken, second by Alderman May. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Ordinances and resolution. Item A, ordinance amending section 21-122 entitled Limited Parking 2 Hours Anytime Sheridan Road, West Side between Water Street and Hazel Court. Motion by Alderman Cunningham, second by Alderman Beedling. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsome. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Item B, ordinance amending section 21-119A entitled All Night Parking Specific Streets. No person shall park any vehicle between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. on any day on the street described below, Sheridan Road, West Side between Water Street and Hazel Court. Motion by Alderman Cunningham, second by Alderman Beedling. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsome. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Ordinance, Resolution C, item C, resolution authorizing the purchase of property by the City of Waukegan pursuant to the Neighborhood Stabilization Program, including 1534 West Cornelia Avenue, Waukegan, Illinois, in the amount not to exceed $40,590.00. Motion by Alderman Conken, second by Alderman Rivera. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Aye. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham. Aye. Alderman Conken.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beedling. Alderman Newsome. Aye. Alderman Tempest. Alderman May. Aye.
Before we go to Alderman's time, ladies and gentlemen, please, when you get a block party for your area, it's not for a family.
That's right.
Not for a single family. We've had several aldermen submit requests for block parties when a family wanted to have a party and they wanted to block off the whole street for their family. Block parties are for the whole block, the whole neighborhood. So please keep that in mind when you get your next request. Next item is Alderman's time. Madam Clerk?
Alderman Valco.
We voted on two issues tonight, one $5,000 for Lake County Crime Stoppers and the other for $23,000 for some scheduling software. I've said this before and I'll continue to say it, that these items cost the city nothing. It comes out of the asset forfeiture fund. So kudos, Chief Wallace, thank you very much, sir. Have the men and women keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. That's all I have.
Alderman Rivera.
I'd like to also thank Public Works for the outstanding job they've been doing with our, a lot of water main breaks, and, they're out there fixing these, and I really appreciate it. I know I had one in a couple of in my ward that I appreciate the work that you're doing out there. So kudos to Public Works. Thanks, Tom. Also, we discussed it earlier among a couple of the aldermen, and I took a ride to the beach yesterday, which I must say is looking really nice. Alderman May, great job on that. But we stopped over there by the ice cream parlor there, and saw that they were, constructing, a new area there by the Waukegan Yacht Club on that side. And I was very surprised, because, I know we discussed it a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't realize that, that this was already being constructed. And I know some of the people there. I know, Mayor, you had mentioned the owner of Dockside, with the ice cream parlor, and didn't know that this was happening. I was surprised with that. And really, I didn't know, that much about it either. But Alderman May, explained to me that it was, it was a Port District project, and there's so many feet that you need, without getting permits, and, and things like that. But there was some sort of construction. But maybe, Mayor or Lisa, if you can, give me some more information on that, I'd appreciate it.
Can I interject?
Yes, you may.
I just was sharing what I had sought out. I had
Yeah.
nothing to do with the project. It went through the outdoor dining permit process here at City Hall, because I too wondered why it didn't
Right.
come through council, and that's what I learned. But it didn't come through any committee that I sent out.
No, exactly, and we didn't see anything come through,
It's a
none of the
project,
committees.
it was a project by the Port Authority. They own the property. Mr. Torres submitted the request for.
But in terms of, building permits, I mean, do they get a free ride on that because they're the Port Authority? Dave, could you come up here, please?
They got full permits.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yes.
And then why didn't it come through committees, like, for example, the Judiciary Committee?
I can't answer that, but I can answer the fact that it was looked at by the city attorney and it's zoned for recreation, and that's what it is. It's the same as dockside dogs.
Right.
This is, there is some permanent construction. The food is gonna be served out of a trailer. They paid for full permits. There was no breaks given to anybody. Dockside Dogs was talked to about this at the same time the RFP went out. There was,
Okay.
everything was up front. This is an outside our dining issue.
Right.
It's gonna be an outdoor beer garden being served out of a food trailer.
Yeah.
There is permanent bathrooms being installed and things like that, but they paid the full permit fees. We had architectural drawings. It was done by our local architect. It was Design Studio C.
Right.
It's not our zoning change, so there was no reason. It's like building a single-family home or building a restaurant or a building on a piece of property that's zoned for it. It doesn't necessarily come before the council if it's a zoning change or things like are like that. So nothing, everything was on the up and up. The outdoor dining is done at DRB. It was held. It's an open meeting. So, and full.
Oh, so it did go through the DRB?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On the outdoor dining side of it.
All right.
Okay, and it was
So
looked at by.
You're saying it didn't require to go to the, after the DRB, it didn't require to go to the
It's private property. It's not the city's
Okay.
property. It's under the
All right.
control of the Port Authority, which is its own our governmental body.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Bill?
Yeah, I'm fine
Alderman
with it.
Cunningham?
Go ahead.
Three small, I want to the small items, three things I'd like to bring up. One, tonight we saw some Waukegan's young men and young ladies who have achieved some significant things in their lives, and I too can appreciate what their teacher has done for them. When you're talking about students who are the first generation college students, I can appreciate that, and I can definitely sympathize and empathize to what those young men and young ladies are going through. They are about to embark on some things that their lives will ultimately be changed. They will begin to understand what a good quality education is all about and what it can do for you from living from where you're at to where you're going to be. So I too would like to congratulate Mr. Gutman for putting it in the minds of these young men and young ladies that anything is possible if you put hard work, dedication, and commitment. And starting off in higher education is the only key, I repeat, the only key in my opinion, out of the low-income areas. Second, high school students, I was called out to come and see our Waukegan high school students. I think it had to have been Alderman Morzio, 200 students who went down to the beach, Alderman May, and they had garbage bags and picking up paper and whatever have you on the beach area. I think the importance of that, and this goes back to our frontline, I call them frontline heroes. These are our frontline teachers and principals, teaching these young men and these young ladies to appreciate where they live. And in order to appreciate where they live, I have to go back to what my mother used to say all the time, that when you allow other people to come into your home and mess it up, I'm not going to get them, I'm going to get you. Here is an opportunity for young men and young ladies to pick up garbage at our beachfront. And now when they see other people throw down things or try to mess up where they have now cleaned up, then they will begin to tell them, not in my house. So I think that's an educational piece that you just can't get from books. It has to be something that is learned and taught through application. Last but not least, I want to thank Public Works. I want to sincerely thank the neighborhood policing, the entire, is that a division, I guess you want to call it, Chief? They took the liberty of themselves of going through every alley within the first ward and picked up 200 times, 300 tires, 250 tires. They did this themselves. So when I hear people saying that the police only want to come and arrest me, and that's all they want to do in my neighborhood, they didn't have any uniforms on, they didn't ask for the paper to come, they just did it. And this is why I appreciate and I support the things that they're doing. 250 tires, I don't know how many of those other televisions, right there on Adams and 8th, where the biggest dumping problem I think we have in the city of Waukegan, and I say that just because it's in my ward. I know other aldermen have dumping issues as well. But these were our Waukegan police officers. So when you get folks up here coming and telling what the police this and what the police that, they're not working with, all they want to do is arrest boys and girls who live on the south side of Waukegan. Well, we have the proof that this is not all they want to do. They want people to live in a safe environment and now a clean environment. And I appreciate what you were able to do. If no one else tells you, I'm telling you. And I can tell you the folks that live in our city, more particularly where I grew up at, they appreciate it too. Thank you.
Alderman Conken.
Thank you. I got a couple items. I've gotten calls over the years, and now that it's summertime, you're going to see a lot of people, and I've seen a lot already, having rummage sales. And I think it's a great way to get rid of your stuff, junk, whatever you want to call it, out of your house, because one man's junk is another man's treasure. But I've gotten calls over the years, over the past couple of years especially, of a couple of rummage sales that operate every weekend. And as you drive by, you'll notice it's not just rummage sale, there's new merchandise out there every week. So it's not really a rummage sale, it's a business. And I think that's something that we got to keep our eye on, because there's a few out there that running a business is not exactly what your rummage sale is for. Along that same line, I've got a complaint already about people selling sodas and sandwiches out of the trunk of their car. And it's an unfair practice. We're talking about unlicensed people doing this. And it's unfair to the people that pay the city permits and fees to be able to do vending and things like that. So I think that's something that we got to look at and make sure that we don't see too much of it. Third thing I'd like to mention is we had a great Memorial Day parade. For everybody that showed up, you got to listen to our Congressman, Brad Schneider, and you also got to see Senator Dick Durbin. They showed up and they made some outstanding speeches. They were good to listen to, and it was a great day. We had a above average crowd. There were plenty of people down there. I wish there were more, but there were a lot of people down there, and it was handled very well by the police department. The fire department showed up. They were escorting the end of the parade, and also by the Citizens Police Academy graduates who helped block off the streets and keep everything in order. I also like to thank Dave Marion. Thank you, Sam, for welcoming. The mayor was gone. He was in Japan. I'm sorry you weren't there, but Dave Marion did a nice job of welcoming everybody on behalf of the city. The last thing I'd like to mention is something a little personal. My uncle passed away. And this is a man that, when he was younger, he joined the Navy and served on the USS Saipan during the Korean War, or war years. After that, he came back home, and he spent 30 years on the North Chicago Fire Department as a fireman paramedic. So he spent approximately 40 years or so of his life serving his community and his country, and raising a great family. I had fun with him when I was a youngster. I helped pound nails into his new house, and I played golf with him later on, and I'm going to miss him. Thank you.
Alderman Moiseo.
Last week, Tom and I met with Advanced Disposal, or again, our favorite topic, garbage. They admitted of not doing as good a job as they could have on the subscription services of the yard waste. They have assured Tom and I that they will get that buttoned up. I was there to sort of represent all of us up here and tell them that the problems that we've had with it. They were very receptive to all of our concerns and complaints. We talked about that. We also talked about maybe trying to fix a little bit of the systems problems. We talked a lot about that. So they have promised us that they will button up their, at least a subscription service part of the yard waste. The bags and stickers, they are what they are. We've also talked a little bit about that. If anybody's got a solution, I talked about going to a different colored bag instead of a sticker, because I think sometimes if it rains, the sticker can fall off and you know all that stuff, but a different colored bag. But if there's any entrepreneurs out there that can make a different color biodegradable bag, there's a big market, he said. It's huge. But all they make them right now is that brown one. So anybody that's an entrepreneur that can come up with a different colored bag, like maybe red or blue, you probably can make quite a bit of money throughout northern Illinois for yard waste. But at this point, there's no, we're stuck with the brown bag. Also, if any of the aldermen are having a ward meeting, and you'd like, I can't think of his name. What was his name, Tom? The guy? Bob Pfister. Bob Pfister said, I will come to your ward meeting.
Oh, okay.
I will come to your ward meeting and I will hear, and I will, as he said, I've come to other ones in other communities, I will come. Just let him know. You can let Tom know, and Tom can hook it up with him. So I thought that was very admirable on his part to say that he would come to a ward meeting if you want him to come. So I wanted to get that out to the community. That's it, thank you.
Alderman Beedling.
On Friday, one of Waukegan's finest retired. I got to know him pretty well in the 3 years that I've been an alderman, and I really appreciated his service. I'm going to really miss him. His name is Officer Michael Jones. Good personality.
Old Jumpy.
Good personality, very educational, and I have a lot of questions of our police officers, and he was always quick with an answer, and I really appreciated his service, and once again, I'm going to miss him. On a different topic, we quite often hear on the news media, bad teachers, bad schools. I don't know, I think what we need to focus our attention on is the bad parents. There may be teachers that are marginal, but no one ever talks about bad parenting. We have a lot of young parents out there, not capable, not ready to have children yet. They do. And it happens at home. Teaching manners, respect, morals. I think we need to focus on the bad parents, and I think we'd start to alleviate some of these problems. Once again, I wish the Patrolmen's Benevolent Labor Committee would give me a call. I'd like to sit down with them and discuss the structure of their pension fund. Firefighters as well. They, both of these funds are underfunded. There's been a myth going around in this city for many years that the city didn't make proper payments. I asked about this, and every payment is approved by the Illinois Department of Insurance, and I think whoever's in charge needs to let the officers know that the city has always made the payments. Their problem is whoever lobbied the state years ago to set up their single employer defined benefit pension plans doesn't understand, didn't think about unintended consequences. There's a clause in there that says this pension will not be diminished or impaired.
Well, if you're a retiree, it's a pretty good deal. But it forces the younger officers to continually add to a plan that I think most defined benefit pension plans in the private sector, once you retire, that's it. If the pension plan is funded beyond 100%, they'll give the retirees a 13th check. But these two pension plans, they have cost of living allowances in there. I don't know how they would ever get ahead or even get caught up. I think they need to take some steps. They need to lobby the state legislature and get some of these rules changed, because I really feel sorry for the young officers. I don't know what's going to be left for them 20 years down the road, and there's not enough money in this city to pull it out of the hole. I think they made a mistake years ago when they structured their pension plan. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Alderman Newsome.
Thank you. I first would like to thank Chief Wayne Wallace for allowing the Neighborhood Police Academy that class to go forth, taught by Lieutenant Joe Florp and Sergeant Corey Kelly. I went through the academy, and I had an opportunity on May 22nd to do my ride-along. It was pretty nice outside. The officer, our 5th Ward officer, is Officer Kelly Gordon, and I rode along for about 6 hours. And first of all, going through that class, I learned a lot that I was not aware of. I got a chance to tour the police department, which I had not seen every nook and cranny over there. I still get lost now when I go through there. But I had an opportunity to do that, and then with the ride-along to actually see what they do as officers. But I'm happy to say that the 5th Ward was really, really quiet the day I did the ride-along. We had a barking dog and a 911 hang-up, so it was very quiet. But it was wonderful to see how Officer Gordon, which is a Waukegan graduate and also lives in the city of Waukegan, how she interacted with the people in the 5th Ward. We traveled through every street in my ward. She was waving to the people and even allowed me to get out and interact with some of my constituency. So all in all, we had a good day. And I'm thinking about maybe doing it again, maybe at night, and maybe I can get on some other calls. But thank you again for allowing that program. And I would encourage all the residents of Waukegan that can go through that program to go through that program. You get an opportunity to shoot the gun and hear a lot of what, and see a lot of what the officers have to deal with. We did mock ride-ups on cars, and so it's the unexpected, you know, when they ride up on a car and have to stop it, and you don't know what's going on inside that car. And it's you know, it's something to be an officer. I wouldn't want to do it, so I give kudos to anyone that wants to be a police officer because they never know if they're going to come home that night. So we need to do much prayer for them while they're out there. But again, encourage those that have not gone through that academy to go through there. It's very enlightening. Thank you.
Alderman Tempest.
Thank you. Guess I'll start number one problem, grass cutting. We've had wonderful wet weather, a lot of rains, and I got some areas the grass is over 1 foot tall. And you know, you shouldn't get a warning, they should get a ticket. They're gonna live in the city, they'll maintain their property. And I don't like what I see in some areas. The next big problem is a serious problem facing us, a very serious problem. It's called ash trees, and they are dying in the city. The abundance of them, forestry can't keep up. I've got them in my ward, a lot of ash trees, some of them in a dangerous condition, near wires and so forth. And we probably have to concentrate on those that, if they did fall, they could knock out some power. But we have a lot of ash trees that are half dead and will not survive. And we have many that are already dead. And the problem's all over the city. And I don't think we have enough foresters to maintain taking them down. I don't think we have a plan put in place of how we're gonna get them down, but it's a serious, serious problem. And I ask all the brain trusts in the city to maybe get their heads together and figure out how we're gonna handle this problem. Because it can become a liability problem later too as a tree dies. So that's a real concern of mine, is how we're gonna take them down. I've got a different philosophy than Public Works. I say drop them, boom, cut them down, fall in the street, cut them up, grab the clamp and take them. We saw them a little bit at a time. I don't know how you can get trees taken down that way, but I'm not a tree expert. But we do have a problem, and we better figure out how we're gonna address it, because it is a serious problem facing us. And that's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Alderman May.
Thank you. I had the pleasure of attending beach and water, open water safety class this weekend in Waukegan at the Yacht Club and at Waukegan Beach that was put on by the Great Lakes Surf Rescue Project, and it was brought to us by the IDNR, the City of Waukegan, and the Waukegan Park District. Everyone knows I'm a big advocate of our wonderful beach, and I thought I was pretty astute in safety, but after going to that class, I realized I'm not. And I'm going to dovetail on that, and this is actually Rip Current Awareness Week, June 1st through June 7th. We learned a lot about rip currents at this class. Did you know that drowning is the second leading cause of death for children under age 14? And we live on one of the Great Lakes in the city, and you can ask any kid, what do you do if there's a fire, if your clothes stop on fire? Stop, drop, and roll. All the kids could answer that question. But we do no training for our kids for how to handle our Great Lake. And our Great Lake, with the sandbars and the way our shoreline is, we are prime for rip currents, because where there's a sandbar and there's a great body of water, we are prime for rip currents. So I just want to urge the public to do a little search on the internet, educate your family when you go to the beach about rip currents. Don't let your little children or even, the teens, talk to them about beach safety. When I left this class, I was amazed that my children were still alive, to be honest, taking them to their beach their whole lives. This class really, really opened my eyes. Mr. Torres was very instrumental in organizing the class and the demonstration we had at the beach, and we're hoping to bring these fellows back next year and hope to have much better attendance. But this is a really serious issue. There's already been 11 deaths on Lake Michigan in this year alone, 2014. I love the beach. I want everyone to come down and visit our lake, but please, please, think about safety. Get life vests on your little ones. Make sure you have a flotation device on the shoreline with you in case you are in a position to help someone who's caught in a rip current. And just be safe, please, at our beach this summer. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Audience time. Jane Ferry.
I'm Jane Ferry, Waukegan Main Street Executive Director, 531 Leith Avenue, and I just wanted to say a couple of things. Thank you to Alderman Beedling for coming to Blessing of the Fleet. That was this Sunday at the Waukegan Yacht Club, and going along with Alderman May talking about the beach and the lakefront, we had an awesome event on Saturday and Sunday with Scoop the Lake Regatta and Poker Run, which was Saturday, and the Blessing of the Fleet, which was on Sunday. Take advantage of this beautiful gem that we have to the east of us. Coming up are a lot of events. I'm passing out to all the aldermen something that we have put together. It's a calendar of events. We have it printed every couple of weeks. We try to distribute it to as many places that we can, including here at the City of Waukegan City Hall, as well as the county building right across the street. Also, most of the businesses downtown and most of the hotels and motels in the area. So anybody who needs these, please call my office, which is 847-623-6650. We'd be happy to supply you with some. One of the things I do want to point out that is not on there is on June 21st at beautiful BVR Park is the Relay for Life. This is the 15th year for the Relay for Life, and we're so pleased that the Park District has donated, once again, beautiful BVR Park. It starts at 6 p.m. on the 21st, which is a Saturday, and it goes overnight to 6 a.m. on the 22nd to show that cancer never sleeps. So if you're so inclined, please do come out there. We have some concerts starting this Saturday. This Saturday, we have the first concert for Summer Saturday Concert Series, and next Tuesday, we have the first concert for the Waukegan Band, both at the lakefront, both at Steiner Pavilion. Bring a jacket, bring a chair, bring yourselves, bring your friends. This is one of the beautiful ways to celebrate the beach without having to commit to going into the water. And another event that I'd like to point out is South Genesee Merchants Block is having a block party. I noticed that block parties were mentioned tonight. They are having that on June 14th, and it starts at 8 a.m. and it goes to about 11 p.m. So it's a drop-in. You don't have to stay for the whole time, of course. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Jane. A motion adjourned by Alderman May, second by Alderman Beedling. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.